Zombies are one of my favorite subgenres of horror. I just love zombie movies so much. Even though they're oversaturated, when they're good, they're so good. Many people will argue that Dawn of the Dead is the classic and it's George Romero's best zombie movie, or some people will even go back to Night of the Living Dead, saying that is the classic, it started it all, and that's the best. And yes, this movie was critically panned when it came out, but I think it's become the fan favorite of the group. The characters are likable, and the villains are the kind of villains that you just love to hate. Joe Pilato as Captain Rhodes just steals the show in this movie. He is one of the greatest villains I've ever seen in any horror movie. He's just one of the reasons why this is my favorite. Another reason I love it is because it's isolated. It reminds me of John Carpenter's The Thing. You're stuck in one place, and nobody trusts each other. I love the dehumanization aspect. As the humans go more crazy and become more inhumane, we start to see more humanity in the zombies with Bub. Bub is the greatest zombie performance of all time. He's kind of like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. You just feel bad for him. And if any of you think Warm Bodies is the first movie to have a zombie become more human, then step aside, because this is what started it. I'm not saying Warm Bodies is a bad movie, I enjoyed it, but this is way better. This is my favorite zombie movie of all time. The special effects by Tom Savini in this movie are just fucking revolting. It's one of the few moments where gore on its own disturbed me. His voice going high-pitched right there at the end may be a little silly, but in my mind, that's his vocal cords being pulled and fucked with, and it just freaks me out so much. I can't give this movie enough praise. You may find it boring on the first watch, but I highly recommend it. Just give it a chance.